I would separate this part and separate this part. It's close to 1/3 each of them, but the water part is a little less and this part is more. So I divide into 3 different sizes first, separate them. At the beginning, it doesn't need to see all this bunch of trees. You can finish the sky because they're visible under the branches and the leaves. So I would go through that with blue color and separate with the 3 different size like that. Let me just mix it with a little white to make it lighter. So I would go like this. The design of the trees on the stands, it's better to be high and low, not really flat. But the water part, it's okay to be really flat like that. So that's it about our drawing so far. We don't need to add anything more right now. Just 3 different sizes. After that, I would pre-mix some paint for the sky. The sky in the photo shows that it's a white, but I would make it more painterly and I would mix it with some blue. And then I'm going to add the pure white color as a cloud. So this is a light blue color first. Even we can jump to this darker blue as well for some part. Doesn't matter to be using just one blue color. It's nice to use different value, different colors. So this light blue, pure white color, and this blue is fine for the sky. And as I mentioned, I would love to shape the cloud with this round shape brush that I have, which is filbert brush. The flat one is really good for the shaping the trees. Sometimes the edge is fine, but for sky, I go with that one. A little bit make it wet. Most of the time, I prefer to use the acrylic paint. Be look like the oil. So I am not using more water in it. And I take lots of paint, heavy paint, and apply on top of the surface. You can start from the middle part of the sky and spread to the left and right, or you can start from one side and apply with more brush stroke to cover the white of the canvas or any surface that you are going to work with. Always the first attempt is nice to be really thick and heavy. It's easier to cover the surface of your painting and you don't need to apply more layers on it. Because of that, most of the time we need to pre-mix more paint because if you take a lots of paint, it's getting finished so fast. Like that. But I don't like to be really smooth and flat, just one blue color. I would go in between with a little darker blue to bring it on top of the sky and apply a little darker tone as well to bring a little beauty in my painting. The top of the sky, I try to make it a little bit darker. I mean, I add the blue on top of the sky and then lighter tone close to the nature. The reason is I would make the nature more fade. Because of that, the lighter tone, it's nice to be closer to the trees. And even I pretend to make a little bit cloud. At the same time, just grab pure white color. and let it melt into blue, round shape. The reason that I'm going to do it all at the same time is because the acrylic is wet, give me a chance to pre-mix easier, because when it's dry, the hard edge create. And in sky, we don't need any hard edge. So piece by piece, we work and try to make it more look like the finishing piece. We can actually apply later to fix some part, but it's nice to cover it as much as paint you can on top and try to shape it as much as you can. I'm not saying we are not using layers. 100 times you can use different layers in different days on top of the painting and make your painting more strong. But for 2 hours workshop, we need to finish actually painting to finish. Because of that, the only way that we have is apply with more heavy paint. Or even when we go out like plein air painting, we are having just a limited time, maybe 2-3 hours. And that helps us to finish our painting in a perfect way. And even the other important point is the size of the brush. So if you go for the large space, easier to go with a larger size of the brush because can cover everything so faster. Okay, try to add more blue on top on the edge of the canvas and let it move to the white bluey color. It's almost look like a cloudy with adding the pure white even on top of the light blue. And if you see the brush stroke I have, especially when I would go to shape it look like the cloud, I'm going round and circle motion. But for the sky, it's okay, like a zigzag or like an X shape to build it like that to cover. But for cloud, I'm going a little bit round shape and I try to use this curvy part of the brush to shape the cloud more accurate. So I'm happy for the sky so far. I can leave it get dry and be ready for next part, which is further landscape. Okay. So this is yellow, white, and yellow ochre. Or even if you have green, it's okay to add a little bit because I would make some yellow color, but not really fresh. A little dull yellow. So I would go like that, a little bunch of brush stroke to show it's bushes on distance. And at the same time, I would start a little bit dull orange that I remixed before to mix with this dull yellow. You can melt them together. You can apply both of them to help them mix together. And always have a napkin for the edge. It's nice to clean it. And then add a little bit white on top. I would show this is on the stance and try to show its fade. I bring it closer. That more easier to see. The edge, I'm going lighter with the white. And I'm going higher and lower to show the size of the bushes are not really flat. It already shows that these are fade to the stance. And then back to the orange color. I try to use small part at a time to let them blend together easier. And for the bushes, try to turn your brush circular motion like this. That's already shown, look like so many bushes on top of each other. And then I'm going to want a little green to bring. Even I can use the tip of brush for that to show a little bit edge. I know that they mix together. It's okay. We would love to see the same things. They mix together and blend together. Even I would go a little bit to the edge. If you don't like to see huge change, small brush stroke would be helpful. Just little by little at a time. And even you can bring the green in between the yellow or between the orange to shape colorful bushes. And we don't have to use just one attempt for this part. If we need to do it more later after it gets dry, again, we can apply more layers on it. But so far, I try my best at the same time, bring different colors like orange, yellow, and red and green to show that it's really busy and colorful bushes are further. So the bottom part is more green. Make sure to have yellow-orange on top. And the bottom part of this bushes and the stems is more green. And I'm not going all in the same height. Try to use it a little higher for some, a little lower in between. If you make it really straight and flat, you can bring back the white of the sky again. Okay. So any part you see that is a lot orangey, you can add a little yellow. If you see more green, you can add other colors. So you can just see if you like it to be busy with warm color or cool color. You can apply more and more. Okay. I think I'm going so far till here. The rest, I would go a little bit more with the other part of the landscape, which is closer to me. And the bottom part of here, more dark. So I'm going to mix green with a little bit black for that side, for here. And it is like back and forth because when we bring the dark color on top, it can cover some lighter tone. And of course, we lose those lighter tone again, we can bring them back. Okay, so I'm going to start with this light blue color I premixed so far and apply like left to right, or start from left side and then try to bring it to the middle of the canvas. But for sure, same as the sky, it's better not to be just one value. It's better to have a little darker tone on the top, which is under the nature. So under the nature is darker, and I'm going to use the pure blue color for here. Make sure it's on the stance. First, it's nice to apply with the flat line to make it exactly like a horizon. So I'm going to use the pure blue first. for that one. Just really flat. It's okay to leave it like this. You don't have to continue to the side of the canvas. And then I would mix a little bit these two colors together so it's a start to have a darker tone on top, and then when it's come down, a little lighter. I always mention to use the pure paint, not much water, but sometimes it depends. You feel that the paint is sticky. When happen like that, it's okay. You can use just a little bit water mixed with your paint and apply then on top of the canvas. So I would go like this. And at the same time, I bring the pure white and blue. It's a water. We can come on top, come and back, and even we can add some blue color as a wave on top. Light and dark, both work beautifully. It's okay if you go a little bit more toward the right side. I know that that side is covered with the lots of trees, but it's okay. We will come on top of the water later. Sometimes it's help us to have more layers of paint. And then I'm going to add this dark color underneath here because this side is dark because of the shadow in nature. And I love this feeling of purple even in my painting. I can bring more purpley tone even the other side too. Even as a wave. Even in the green, we have light and dark. So always I would make it lighter, darker, warm and cool. For the yellow part, let me add a little more yellow. But the yellow is not really bright like the yellow we use like this, like lemon yellow. It's better to use yellow ochre to mix with it too. Or if you don't have it, you can add a teeny tiny brown and green. So this with that. I would make the sharp, warm yellow a little bit dull. So this is about that. I would bring orange here and I have red as well. So I use those two. And for the green, I have this green, which is not really dark. It's something in between. It's mid-tone. You can mix with the white and yellow to make it lighter. And then you can mix with black and brown to make it darker. So I go for this. First of all, make a little green lighter. So we bring yellow, we bring orange, just mix green with a little bit lighter value of yellow and white. And then we need dark green too. Dark green, I mean, you can mix with the brown or you can mix with black. So this is the premix of the colors. And we have pure brown. And all the colors we have pure, if you would like to use it. So this 4-color, I don't say premix because the orange, I just bring it closer here. So we need to yellow to mix it a little bit with yellow ochre or green to make it dull. And we need to mix green with yellow and white to make it light, and green with black or brown to make it dark. And that's it. First, let me just start with this bigger size of brush. I'm going to start with brown color. And try to add one line here to make this side of the landscape. It's just covered with a little stone, I think, to the water. And then come down. And then go toward the right side. But I try my best to be more like blocky, not round shape. Even you can add some reddish brown if you have on top to make it not really just dark and black or dark brown. Even you can add some red if you don't have any reddish brown. It's okay to use red on top of that. And even yellow. So I try to build the place of the trees. And even this is closer to us. You can go with thick and heavy paint to make a texture even if you like. And don't worry, it shows at the beginning that it's cut from the water, but we will come later to add some details more on top of the water and make it darker. Something like that. And after that, depend how much darkness you would like to reach. You can mix the brown with black or just use the pure brown. Add a little, just a small tree trunk for here. I try to show a little longer here. And then from this side, I try to go a little bit, just the tree trunk like that. And on the top is more narrow. The bottom part is more thick. And I can use the tip of brush to shaping those. And I would bending one of them like this. So these are not the exactly just 3 or 5 trees. I just try to approach the tree trunk shape of the trees, and then I cover with a bunch of leaves and branches on the bottom part. Even I can go like this inside here. And after that, I'm going to add the dark green, first of all, to shape. The shape of the trees is look like they're all the branches are toward the sky. So I'm going to use the tip of brush, randomly add something like this, details close to each other. Even for Oregon straight, you can go. You can just add a bunch of brush stroke close to each other. Different way we can. You can go like this, one by one, to draw. You can add a straight line to shaping the branch, like this. This is one approach, like this, one attempt. This is one kind of the tree. And then later on, we can apply more layers on it. This is one. Or thick paint, try to make it really texture. And now they mix together. So that's happened when it's come on top of the sky, because I would show some part of the sky under these branches. But when we come closer here, we need to cover it completely. We don't need to even show any branch separately. Just with more brush stroke, cover the surface like this. And even for adding like a warm color, like reddish, yellowish color, I'm using another brush at the same time. Especially here, we use just a pure red. And I'm going to use like a polka dot brush stroke, like that. And use heavy paint at the same time. And some green in between. I just try to take a time a little bit more to apply with more brush stroke with different colors. It's okay. You can at the same time use orange, at the same time use red, or even yellow. I mean yellow ochre, or because yellow ochre is more dull, it's nice for here. If you don't have it, just any yellow mix with brown and green. So try to cover as much as you can with a bunch of bushes. And then here we apply with darker green. I would bring some light green between yellow and red as well. And for the side of this tree, I would show that it's a little lighter. So I'm going to add some lighter green and try to mix it with darker tone. As you see, I try my best to show just heavy paint and with touch of brush stroke show all these shape of the bushes and the leaves to make it. And that heavy texture show that it's closer to me, and even the darker tone, because I would go with pure red, pure orange, dark greeny color. So all these help the landscape move forward. And then close to the green, I go with the orange. And sometimes the tree trunk disappear under the bunch of leaves that we make. Don't worry, if you like, you can bring them back with a smaller brush. Okay, so I move a little bit with the orange and yellow color here. And I feel another green color is nice to bring to help it move closer and then separate from the further landscape. It's more colorful and nice, that's enough. And I would add a little bit details for here. This side should be a little longer. Like come a little bit toward center. The bottom part, I try to make it darker. Now almost it shows that they cut from top of the water. The big details, everything is done. We just need to show that all these beautiful trees and the bushes and this side is on top of the water, not cut from that. So because of that, I need to bring some shadow, and I would go mix blue with red to mix a purpley color, which is so helpful to separate this part from each other. And I'm going to add a little bit wave on top. Sometimes we need to add a little black in it too to make darker. And exactly under this part, come and let it go to the water and make a little wave on it to look like more natural. Or even the brownie color can come a little bit. Because this side is completely to the shadow. You can cover it with purple. And for transferring to the painting, we try to exaggerate. Even when we are not seeing really dark in reality. But in painting, we try to exaggerate to make a darker note of this part. So a little bit brown maybe come on top to make it more shadow. And it's already showed that they are mixed into each other. It doesn't show that they are cut. It shows it's on top of the water with this movement of the dark color. So first we build the base, and now we can add some darker tone on top. With the little details, you can see huge change. Or on the other side, I can bring some pure white color in between to add a little wave on it. Just with the pure white on top of the very light blue color, not the shadow part. And yep, we can call it's done with adding all these teeny tiny details.